When most people picture ADHD, they imagine someone who can't sit still, can't concentrate, or is constantly distracted. But ADHD doesn't always look like that. Some difficulties can be surprisingly subtle and easily mistaken for laziness, poor discipline, or being disorganized. And having one or two of these experiences does not mean you have ADHD. What matters is the bigger pattern. So, here are 7 signs of ADHD you might be overlooking. Number 1. Your attention depends heavily on interest. ADHD isn't simply an inability to focus. You might struggle with something repetitive or boring, yet spend hours absorbed in something you find fascinating. A hobby, a creative project, or a topic you love can hold your attention far more easily than a routine task. So the question isn't simply, can you focus? It's also, how consistently can you direct your attention where it needs to go? Number 2. Starting can feel harder than doing. You know what needs to be done. You know why it matters. You may genuinely want to do it. But somehow, starting feels unusually difficult. And once you finally begin, the task may not even feel that hard. This can be related to executive function difficulties, including initiating, organizing, and prioritizing actions. It's not always about not caring. Number 3. Time seems to get away from you. You think something will take 20 minutes, and it takes an hour. Or you think you have plenty of time until suddenly you're rushing. You may also become absorbed in something and barely notice time passing. The important question is whether managing time repeatedly creates problems in everyday life. Number 4. You forget things that actually matter to you. Keys disappear, appointments slip your mind. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. And sometimes it's something you genuinely cared about remembering. Forgetfulness doesn't necessarily mean you didn't care enough. Attention and working memory difficulties can make keeping information accessible more difficult. Everyone forgets things sometimes. What matters is how often it happens and how much it affects your life. Number 5. You start things more easily than you finish them. A new project feels exciting. You have ideas, you make plans, you feel motivated. But when the novelty fades, your attention may move somewhere else. And suddenly, you have several unfinished projects, books, tasks, or hobbies. The challenge may not be ambition, it may be maintaining attention and effort after the initial excitement disappears. Number 6. Restlessness and impulsivity can be subtle. Hyperactivity doesn't always mean being unable to sit still. For some people, restlessness feels more internal. You may fidget, constantly seek stimulation, feel uncomfortable doing nothing, or struggle to mentally slow down. Impulsivity can appear as interrupting, making quick decisions, or acting before fully thinking something through. Again, the occasional behavior isn't the important part. The persistent pattern is. Number 7. Staying organized takes more effort than people realize. From the outside, your life may look completely organized, but maintaining it can take enormous effort. Appointments, belongings, deadlines, responsibilities, and everyday tasks can feel like constantly keeping several plates spinning. You may rely heavily on alarms, lists, reminders, or routines just to stay on track. And because those systems work, other people may never realize how much effort is happening behind the scenes. But here's the most important part. None of these signs, by themselves, mean you have ADHD. Poor sleep, stress, anxiety, depression, burnout, and other conditions can sometimes cause similar difficulties. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder, not simply a collection of relatable habits. A proper assessment looks at the whole picture, how persistent the difficulties are, how much they affect everyday life, and whether symptoms were present during childhood. So, if you recognized yourself, don't rush to give yourself a label. Instead, look at the pattern. How long has it been happening? Where does it show up? And how much does it interfere with your life? If these difficulties are persistent and significantly affect your work, education, relationships, or daily life, consider talking to a qualified healthcare professional. Now I'm curious, which of these 7 signs surprised you the most? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoy understanding the psychology behind everyday behavior, like and subscribe to the Psyversity for more psychology and self-improvement content. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.